Hola, DJ Vino Vertigo here. Just a quick, short video. I just feel that this sometimes there's a lack of understanding of the contributions of artists who are in the soul vein in the music industry. And we talk a lot about, we talk a lot about Stax and about Motown and that kind of stuff, and Otis Redding and Aretha and basic, this very obvious kind of things. But there's other things that have happened in history within the soul community, soul and jazz community, the African American experience in terms of music that is not really explored that well. Luckily, we have people like uh, we have people who have hipped us to the African American experience in terms of music and documentaries. We had Summer of Soul that came out a few years ago. Amazing documentary, award winning documentary. We've had some recent ones that come out about Quincy Jones and about Nina Simone and about Sly Stone, also about Luther Vandross. Some really great documentaries that have come out, really well put together documentary about the Apollo. That's another one that's really great. But we talk a lot about, and in particular, we talk. There's a lot of discussion and a lot of nostalgia when it comes to like Woodstock and concerts like that have happened. I can't think of the train one, the one that shows a lot of Janis Joplin, and I can't think of the name. If you can, put it in the comments section. But the one that the concerts that the Rolling Stones were in, where the whole thing happened with the Hell's Angels. I mean, there's all those concerts that people talk about and like, oh my God, there's so much nostalgia with that stuff. But then Summer of Soul finally comes out. Also, the Aretha Franklin gospel documentary finally comes out. That's another amazing one that a lot of people didn't know about. The 2 days that she did gospel, and the Rolling Stones showed up and watched. That's a great. Amazing Grace, it's called. Amazing Grace, that documentary. Well, there's another one that I just watched that I didn't know existed. I knew of the concert, but I was really young. And the documentary came out. It's wonderful, even though the film footage is kind of grainy at times. It's still it's still a documentation of a great concert, and it is the Save the Children. Is this concert that was basically put on by the Push Foundation, which Reverend Jesse Jackson kind of spearheaded, and it was in Chicago, and it was in the early '70s, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Um, I should have been more prepared. 1972, I believe it was. It was the Expo of 1972. Save the Children was the theme, and all these artists showed up: Cannonball Adderley, Jerry Butler, Reverend James Cleveland, Sammy Davis Jr., Brenda Lee Eager from the gospel singer, Roberta Flack, Marvin Gaye, Jackson 5, Reverend Jesse Jackson, Quincy Jones, Gladys Knight and the Pips, Ramsey Lewis Trio, The Main Ingredient, Curtis Mayfield, The OJs, the Push Expo Choir, The Temptations, Jackie Verdell, Nancy Wilson, Bill Withers, and Zalima, all on this. And this is a Motown release. I've had this. I never really listened to it, but I've had this gatefold used copy from Motown soundtrack, and I picked it up and I said, "Oh, I want to listen to this one day," and I never really listened to it. And then I saw the movie, and I was like, "Whoa! Look at all this great stuff, this great music, great performances." And it has, doesn't have every performance from the film, but it has the highlights, and it's 2 albums worth of the highlights of this. And I'm telling you, this if you haven't seen this film yet, this documentary, I would say check it out. I would just want to put it out for you. If you like documentaries like Woodstock, if you like Summer of Soul, if you like to watch these documentaries about concerts that happened, these iconic concerts. This was definitely an iconic concert that was forgotten. This was in the movies, but it didn't, it didn't have the same, um, you know, I don't think it had the same distribution as maybe Woodstock would have. It doesn't have, people don't remember this in the same way that they would remember something like Woodstock. And I think it's time that we start looking at these things on an equal basis. I mean, I know Woodstock is Woodstock. I mean, that's the pillar of all of this stuff. That's where everything kind of comes after that. And, all the way up to Coachella and Bonnaroo and all that other stuff. I mean, if you didn't have Woodstock, all this other stuff, not to say it wouldn't exist, but it would have no reference point. I get that, but for the African American community and for people who love this type of music, not just African American people, but people who love this kind of music from all over the world, this kind of film would definitely should be on your list to check out. And again, I can't say this enough. I saw this on, I want to say it was on Netflix. Yeah, believe it was on Netflix. Save the Children. Wonderful documentary. Great soundtrack. And if you ever see this in the bins, pick it up. And that's all I have to say about that. Okay, guys? I still talked too long, didn't I? No, 6 minutes. Cool. I think I've only been talking about 6 minutes. So, really great. This is DJ Vinyl Vertigo signing out. Saying please listen to great music. Keep listening to great music, I should say. And also, if you ever get a chance, check out my show on WMNF Tampa, 88.5 FM, 3 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on 88.5 FM, and that's on Thursday. Thursday, 3 to 6 p.m. I do a 3-hour show, and I play all kinds of music from all genres. It's called the Traffic Jam All Souls Edition. Music of passion from all over the globe, crossing all genres is my tag. And yeah. And on that show, I'm not DJ Vinyl Vertigo. I don't go by that name. I go by Scott. Okay? That's my birth name. Anyway, take care, guys. Keep listening to great music. Love you all. Bye.